What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, I've got a new video looking at some new news reviewed today. This is a V-Jump, promo review, but obviously this is only for the OCG, but we know these are going to get imported at some point, so I think some people are just excited if they love these decks to know that these cards are out there and they are coming at some point. Because we got some cool SPEEDROID and DD stuff, so we'll take a look there. Let's get started with SPEEDROID Car Turbo. It's a level 3 wind machine tuner effect monster. Sounds about right. Its attack is 800, its defense is 1200, and you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, if you control a wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effects of monsters except for wind monsters. That's a pretty good extender. I'm just saying. Just a free body on board if you're playing it in a deck like SPEEDROID. You're not really activating any effects other than machines anyway. I like that. Second effect, you can banish this card and one SPEEDROID monster from your graveyard. All wind monsters you control gain 800 attack until the end of the turn. That one's okay. I mean, it's just a buff, and it's winds, so it is still generic if you're using it. I mean, obviously you're using it in this kind of deck. One thing that is interesting, till the end of the turn. No, I guess it's not a quick effect. Okay, I mean, it just gives you a small buff. Unfortunately, it's not a quick effect. That would be nice, like, for certain things. I was thinking certain things, like, even in, like, Simorgs. You go into the new Link monster in Simorgs, you would, like, bring out the barrier statue. If this was a quick effect, you could banish this on your opponent's turn with, like, the Terror Top to make the barrier statue 1800 attack, and your opponent can only summon wind monsters, which is actually a pretty tough lock there. But it's not the end of the world. Still a pretty card. I mean, it's just a free special summon. I mean, this pretty much does what Takatomborg does, just getting itself on the board out of the hand, with minimal restrictions, assuming you're playing this really only in a deck that plays winds. Next up, though, we've got SPEEDROID Block and Roll. I like this one's design as well. It's a level 4 wind machine monster with 1000 attack, 1800 defense. Okay, nice booty. You can only use this, the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a synchro summon, you can special summon a SPEEDROID token, Machine Wind, 0 attack, 0 defense, with the same level as the original level of the synchro monster this card was used to summon. Okay, so you can't use tokens for XZs, I believe, so it doesn't set up like an XZs play, but that is nice. That's just a free +1. It's 2 materials. That's not bad, and I believe SPEEDROIDs like to do like synchroing up fairly often. I don't know how low their levels are, though. You know what I mean? Like how low a synchro you would make with this to get the token, and if they would be low enough where they'd be able to stack to go right up into another one. I don't know. Obviously, there may be specific combos there. But that's nice. I think both these are pretty nice. Like, this guy's just a free special, which SPEEDROIDs appreciate, and this guy is just an extra monster, an extra body after being used for synchro summoning, which it's like all the deck does. The deck does a little bit of link summoning, but mostly just synchro summoning. It's pretty cool. I think those are pretty nice. And then next up we have DD Dog. That's it. Just DD Dog. I love his design, by the way. His design is awesome. He's a level 6 Dark Fiend Pendulum Effect monster with 2000 attack, 2000 defense. I like the stats. Pendulum scale of 3. Not the best scale, but low enough for in a good amount of strategies that might work. I don't know about DD specifically. I actually don't believe they rely as heavily on the pendulum summon as other decks do. So definitely not bad. Definitely not the worst thing in the world, I mean. Alright, so you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. That effect reads, you can target one fusion, synchro, or XZs monster your opponent controls and negate that monster's effects until the end of the turn, then destroy this card in a pendulum zone. That's not bad. That's really not. I mean, all right, so listen. All right, well, let's read the monster effect first, and then we'll get to this. The monster effect says, once per turn, if your opponent special summons a fusion, synchro, or XZs monster, you can target one of those monsters. During that turn, that face-up monster cannot declare an attack, and its effects are negated. Okay, let's start with the pendulum effect, though. So that's really not that bad, especially going second. Do you imagine that? Especially in Master Rules 5, once like not every deck has to revolve around links, we're going to see more decks come out of the woodworks relying on fusion, synchros, XZs as their main lines with extra deck play. And you can just scale this, negate a monster, just blank a negate. Like, imagine somebody, Apollousa is not a good example, but Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. If we see any decks that play stuff like that, or what's his name? The level 8 wind dragon synchro that you usually make with like wind witches. I can't remember his name. Crystal Wing? I think it's Crystal Wing. Yeah, you just scale this, negate, like bait Crystal Wing. That's a 1-for-1. You just baited the negate. That's one to get out of the way. I think that's decent. It's not the greatest thing, and he destroys himself, so, and puts himself in the extra monster zone. So if you do a pendulum summon, you just bring him out again. And for his monster effect, that's a straight up disruption. That's a legit disruption. If your opponent special summons any fusion sync or XZs, just make it so it can attack that turn and negates effects. That's just a straight up like negate. Straight up. That's pretty good. I think this card's kind of banging. Definitely. I think this card is kind of clean. This might be just a good generic pendulum card for any format that just has a fair amount of fusion synchros and XCs being pretty apparent. I dig it, and the stats are decent. So definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Obviously, I'm not a particular SPEEDROID enthusiast. I'm not a DD player at all. So definitely let me know if I'm off base on some of these, if I'm underestimating some of them, if I'm overestimating any of them. Let me know your thoughts down below if you know more about me, more than me about these subjects. And yeah, that's going to sum us up. Just a quick news video today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more news from me in the future. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.